Well, we have made it through another year. Well done us. Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. I hope you all had a lovely Christmas or holiday season, whatever it is you celebrate. Hope you had an absolutely lovely December. I had a pretty nice December too, after like quite the roller coaster of a year. So I figured I'd have a little chat today and do a little fun twist of just kind of showcasing all the different bits of makeup and beauty and stuff that I treated myself to throughout the year. I want to point out, obviously I've already done my hair, but I want to point out I got the GHD Gold. It's the lilac one. Beautiful packaging. It comes in this beautiful little pouch with this gorgeous pink zip. I love it. It's so pretty. That's it, with the little heat protector on it. It's really good. I got it for Christmas and I've been using it kind of nearly every day since, because I went so long without a good hair straightener. The one I brought with me when I moved in here was an old secondhand one and it just wasn't really up to the task anymore, so I had to kind of stop using it. So yeah, I've had a bit of a weird year. So I mean, I suppose let's start at the very beginning. January, great. I moved in to my first home and it's amazing and I love it. And that was a great start to the year. And then I had my local musical, which was amazing and felt really, really good. And then things started to go a bit weird after that. So yeah, a bit of a very up and down kind of year. The primer I'm using is just my usual beauty base, so I'm not even really gonna point that out because that's not new. You guys know that if you've watched any beauty related video, this is in it. But yeah, from like kind of March, once I had, you know, gotten a little bit more time after moving and doing the show and everything, I started job searching because you may know this about me, I hate my job. Well, I can say it in a past tense now. I hated my job. Spoiler alert. So kind of just figured I needed to buy the house. I needed to get in here before I could focus on looking for something else. So kind of March time I started searching for something else. I'm in sort of like admin, office manager kind of type work. So yeah, I was looking around for stuff, interviewing, and it just wasn't going anywhere. It's like a really, really hard job market out there. The amount of interviews that I've just like I haven't heard back from, or you know, there was one I had that they told me I was perfect. I was exactly the candidate they were looking for. We vibed for ages. We were just getting along great and just kind of hung out chatting for ages. And then they ghosted me. So it's a really, really hard market out there. And I think I've been rejected more times this year than I ever have in my whole life, which is a weird feeling. And to be honest, I'm not even really like hugely bothered by it because, you know, I have no major interest in that job field anyway. So it's not like I felt I needed to, you know, reassess my whole dream. And, you know, I don't even have a degree or anything. So it's not like I have a degree in a thing that I can't even get a job in. So I don't know, I suppose there was a bit of an emotional and a mental separation there, which was quite nice. But nonetheless, hard 7 or 8 months of job searching there. So yeah, actually interrupting my own thought here because my foundation is new. I did buy this within the last year. It's the Bare Minerals, ooh, can you focus? Bare Minerals BarePro. It is a, I think they kind of call it their full coverage, but it's not like full coverage. It's more kind of like a medium. It's buildable, but it's not really intense full coverage, which I actually really like because I'm kind of in that phase of my life now. I never thought I would be. I thought I'd be the full coverage, heavy makeup kind of person forever, but trends change, styles change, and just even my own personal preferences have changed. There's like so much air in this now. I don't think it's running out yet, but it's really hard to get it out. It is a beautiful foundation, and I think I have actually mentioned it on here before. I've used it in another couple of videos, but it's really lightweight and it's a lovely kind of, I suppose, satin finish, which feels very natural. And there's SPF in it, which is always nice. Bit of extra protection. Goes on well. I wasn't particularly keen on it when I first used it. I was a bit disappointed because like that it is a lot less full coverage than other full coverage foundations. But I just got the hang of it. Just kind of took a little bit of trial and error of how to apply it and how much I need, and just even adjusting to a different look as well. But I really, really like it because it can look very natural. If you're just kind of doing a very light layer of it, it can just be a bit of a almost like tinted moisturizer kind of finish, which is great for those days that you just want to feel a little bit like tidier. I hate saying that because it's not like it's bad to not wear makeup. It's perfectly fine to not wear makeup, but you know, on those days you feel like you just need a little extra something without doing a full face, you can put on a light layer of this and blend it, and just gives you a little extra confidence, which is very nice. By the way, sorry, I'm getting over a nasty cold, so I'm really nasally and I'm probably gonna have a few coughing fits throughout the video, but bear with me. I am getting better. It's just still, thankfully I got it before Christmas, so I was mostly over it by Christmas, because funnily enough last Christmas I also had a very nasty dose and I had it like right over the few Christmas days. So I had to miss dinner and I had to miss the whole thing, and I just had to sit in my pajamas at home, which was very nice admittedly, but it's not my usual Christmas. I had to sit on the sidelines and I couldn't really see people, so bit of a shame. So I'm glad I had it in time to get it out of my system enough before Christmas came. So there's the foundation. Definitely recommend it. My concealer is not new, it's just my usual Urban Decay one, so I'm just gonna pop a bit of that on. Yes, so where was I? I was job searching and it was going terribly, and I was just having a really hard time, if I'm honest. Like, if I can get really open and honest with you, I was having a really, really hard time, and my job at the time, which is actually like the only job I've ever really had. I've had it since I was about 19. So that's like just shy of 10 years almost. It was just honestly such a horrible place. It was so toxic, and I don't know how I lasted the sort of 8-9 years that I was there, because it was really, really horrible. Like the first kind of 4 years I was there were pretty good. I had a really nice boss, and then there were some staff changes and management changes, and it was just really bad from that point on. It just got like increasingly worse. It was really toxic. There was a horrible like a bullying kind of dynamic. It was really rough, and I mean, God, I could tell you stories. I'm not going to right now, but good grief. The unions were like so involved, and they have like a ridiculous amount of anecdotes from around the place. Everybody has a bunch of people that they've seen go through these things at work as well. Like nearly every department at one point was losing at least one member of staff because of the horrible atmosphere that was being created. So that turned into me. That turned out to be me. Then I was one of those people who just couldn't take it anymore. And it was just wreaking absolute havoc on my mental and physical health. So yeah, that's where we wound up. And I mean, part of the reason I had been job searching as well was I was trying to get out of there without being unemployed. But when I wasn't getting a job, I just figured, well, you know what? My health is so much more important than this. I'm good with money, so I have a little bit of a cushion here. I've got some savings. I've got a great partner to lean on. So I decided I just had to actually leave. Once my doctor decided that I had to come out of work on long-term sick leave, it became very evident to me then that there was no way I was able to go back. So yeah, so I left my job, finally. I had always been saying all year as well, I was saying, look, if I even make it to the end of the year in here, I'd treat myself at Christmas and quit. I didn't make it as far as Christmas, but I actually had a really good end of the year because of it, because I was able to just detach and shed that nastiness and that horrible like tension and anxiety and stress. I was able to just cut ties, just go, no thank you, none of that. I always say your dignity is not for sale, so like don't put up with crap like that, you know. So that is my year. I am officially unemployed, fun-employed, as I'm calling it, because I'm focusing on me and I'm focusing on what I like to do and things that make me happy. And I'm trying to think about what I might do next. I think I'd really like to avoid that traditional 9-to-5 kind of setup if I can, because even just as a palate cleanser, because of all of the negative associations I'm gonna have with it for the next little while. Because like honestly guys, workplace PTSD is a thing. I've read loads of articles about it. It is a thing. So sort of a palate cleanser would be good. Ideally, I would love to not go back to that situation at all. I would love to do something that's maybe a bit more creative, maybe a bit more, you know, uses my strengths, my skills, and just makes me feel good, makes me feel like I'm actually working towards something that's beneficial to me, and maybe to others, instead of just, you know, being the person on the ground making a bunch of profit for shareholders and getting absolutely no thank you for it, honestly. Corporate work is just, ugh. That was my eyeshadow primer I was putting on there. So it is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. It's fine, but the packaging clearly didn't go through quality control, because that's absolutely ridiculous. And this had started from almost day one. I should have sent it back. I just didn't really think to at the time, and it just was getting progressively worse and worse. So loses points for the flaw in the packaging there, but the product itself is fine. I've used better, but it definitely does the job. It smells like coconut as well, so whether that's something that floats your boat. And I set my face with my powder, which is my NYX powder that I've been using for years. That again isn't anything exciting or new, so I'm not really going to talk about it, but I set my face with it, and then I set my eye primer with it as well. Blusher and bronzer, I don't technically have new ones. I have ones that I just kind of had lying around that I didn't really use very much, so I'm actually going to whip them out today and give them a go. Usually my blusher is Bare Minerals. Again, going through a bit of a Bare Minerals phase. It's Call My Blush. It's really nice, goes on really nicely, lasts. It's a good blusher, but I'm going to use my E.L.F. blusher and bronzer today. They're just ones I picked up a while back just to kind of have as spares. But obviously because they're spare, I don't really use them very much, so let's give them a go again today and see how we get on. Oh, it's getting even darker in here. The weather lately has just been So weird. It's been a really warm winter. Just not right. It's so confusing. I don't mind it, it's fine. It's just a weird winter that we're having. And the lighting is completely unpredictable. So just bear with me because I'm working off just one little ring light and I don't think it's enough. It's quite an intense color payoff, actually. I'm like going really lightly on this, but boy is it there. So considering how budget friendly E.L.F is, that's really good. And it's quite a big pan as well, so you know, you'll get your money's worth for it anyway. For my eyes, again, I don't have anything like specifically new this year, so I'm going to use my Huda Beauty Smokey Obsessions palette, which is beautiful, and I whip it out kind of for special occasions because there's some lovely shimmers in there, but even just like the shade of it, the color tone of it is actually really, really nice and quite fitting for my skin tone. So it's a palette I really like. There was a black, but unfortunately it crumbled and had to be emptied out. So these are the colors. I absolutely love it. It's very, very nice, but it doesn't get enough attention, so I'm going to use it today. So I'm going to use the like just sort of matte light brown there. I'm just going to put that in my crease. I'm probably going to wind up with like very much an evening look out of this, but hey, it's Christmas time, who cares? So where was I? Yeah, let's fast forward then. So I quit my job. I'm fun employed. I'm trying to brainstorm what I might do for an income because eventually I will need to actually, you know, get an income again. So I'm gonna see what I can do that will just kind of suit my needs better. I'm going to try and launch a bit of a small business next year. Stay tuned, I'll tell you more about it later. Just kind of doing that over my crease, blending it, popping it under my eye a little bit. Let's see. It would feel a shame to not use the glitter. So what I will do is, there's some lovely browns down the bottom for smoking, but I'm just gonna actually take the lighter of the two, so sort of the medium brown of the palette. I'm just gonna take that on a small brush there and just pop it like kind of onto my crease at the corner. Just kind of carve out a bit of a shape there. And then this brush that I love, it is an Aimee Connolly brush. It's called the Taperer. So it's kind of a tapered top on it, perfect for blending out your crease or whatever else might work for you. It just helps to smooth everything out without like blurring it too much or spreading it around too much. Because it's a bit tapered at the top, it keeps it in the general area, but then the fluffier edges sort of smooth it a bit. So I have to say as well, what I'm really enjoying about being unemployed is that I have time for my hobbies and my passions. Like say I have time to do these videos now, where like I know I'm not putting out like a video a week or anything, but I'm able to give my channel way more time than I ever have before, and I'm able to give my house way more time than I ever have before. I'm able to do little DIY bits, I'm able to keep the cleaning under control. Like I'm just able to do these things now that I'm not working like a 40-hour week and commuting, and you know, it's so nice to have the time to live. I know eventually, yes, I will need to probably make some level of a change to my current lifestyle, but yeah, I've never had this like time off, you know. I never took a gap year or like a finding myself kind of year or any of that sort of stuff, so that's kind of what this is for me. I don't know that I'll get a whole year out of it. That might be ambitious, but it's just time where I can kind of block out all of the external noise and just focus on what makes me feel good, what I'm happy doing, what I know I'm good at. I just don't feel like I'm living someone else's life anymore. You know, I think that's kind of how I felt for, honestly, maybe my whole life, to a degree, varying degrees at different times. But the last 2 months I felt more like me, I think, than I ever really have. I've been able to kind of even just experiment with that a little bit. Like, I dyed my hair, which I've never done before, and I know isn't a huge deal, but it is to me. I just did like a home dye. I actually have a video, I'll make sure to leave it below for you. Spoiler alert, that particular dye didn't work, but I did try a different brand and it actually did work. So I was able to get like a pink wash through my hair, which was so liberating. I can't even tell you, it felt so good to just be like, look, here I am, this is me. Potentially, I don't know, I might even get a tattoo, who knows? But it's just kind of taking back me and just saying, I'm not dressing to suit a particular company's image. I'm not, you know, working my whole life and my whole schedule around a particular job. I'm just being me and I'm just living for me. And I feel incredible. So I'm going to try and hold on to this as best I can. I'm going to use, I can't decide actually between the sort of lighter one or the more kind of deeper. There's sort of rose gold colors on either end there. The gold itself is beautiful as well, and so is the silver, but they're very intense, where the pinky or rosy gold ones kind of blend more. This one in the middle here is actually gorgeous for a smoky shimmer. Do you know what? Let's go with the light color. Just getting it on my finger, you get the best color payoff with glitter if you just put it on directly from your finger. I'm just going to focus it on the middle of my eye and sort of blend it around a little bit. But yeah, no, I mean, like, I just honestly feel so good. And it's been one of those experiences as well that, like, for all the bad, it's also highlighted a lot of good in my life. That the support of my friends and my family, I feel like maybe my friends get it a little bit more than my family do, but like the amount of people who were just so thrilled for me when I told them I quit, it was so, like, it was validating. It was great knowing that, you know, like, look, yes, I was going through something. I was being treated badly at a job and I'm worth more than that, and it's great to know that other people feel that way and other people believe that. And honestly, there's nothing like the support of good friends and family, and it's just been so reassuring. And even, you know, when I kind of don't know what I'm doing next, so many of my friends have said, it doesn't even matter, it's probably going to be great. And I feel weird saying that because it sounds like I'm trying to kind of like brag about how great my friends are, which they are. But it's just, I can't even tell you how great it is to just have that unconditional support and that people just have faith in me and believe in me. And yeah, it's like the warmest feeling. And thank you. I know lots of you are probably going to be watching this, so firstly, thank you for watching, because that support means a lot to me as well. But for all of the shoulders you've given me to cry on and all of the support and validation you've given me, it means so much. So thank you. Yeah, so I'm getting a little emotional, so I'm gonna actually I'm gonna move on. a bit. And my eyes look really strange now that there's no definition around them. So I'm going to use my mascara, which is new. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes. It is an interesting one because the wand doesn't kind of go all the way around. There's the bristles on one side and then another side is just flat. So it's really strange. The idea is, if I understand the product description, is that you use the flat side to just like smear mascara onto your eyelashes and then use the comb part to like work it through. I did try that, but I don't really know what they're on about because it doesn't look good. So I just used the comb part. This is not a reflection on the product. It is a beautiful product, but I did scratch my cornea with this wand a few weeks ago because I gave myself a really hard jab in the eye with it, as you do. And yeah, had to go to an optician and get creams and everything. It was nasty. It was very, very painful. But that is not a reflection on the wand itself or on the product. It's just me being clumsy. Well, I'm after making a mess. But we're gonna fix it. It's gonna be fine. You're just gonna leave it there for a little while until it dries and then we'll get rid of it. Because always let it dry. If you ever do this, if you ever smudge your skin with your mascara, don't get it off right away because you're just gonna spread wet mascara all over the place. You're gonna wanna let it dry and then it will lift off a lot easier. Oh, there we go. There's our before and our after. Ignore the smudge. It's a really nice mascara. It does actually make your lashes look great. It's not particularly like volumizing or anything. So if that's your preference, it might not work for you. They do have other types of mascara. This is the first Charlotte Tilbury one I'm trying. I will maybe even try the others. But for now, I'm really happy with this. It wears really well as well. It doesn't flake off or anything. The worst I would have with it would be if I haven't done like a full face of makeup, so I don't have like primer on and stuff. If it's very humid and very warm, it can kind of smudge a little bit, give you a bit of panda eyes. But again, that's under like particular circumstances. But products are different for everybody as well, you know? Like I could sing the praises of a product because it works really well for me, and then you might go and try it and it might not work at all for you. And that's okay. Doesn't mean one of us is right and one of us is wrong. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the product. It just means that everybody is different. And as usual for my eyebrows, I don't do a goddamn thing other than give them a brush. These brushes are really hard to find nowadays as well. I feel like they're just not in fashion anymore. Because I guess like long eyebrows aren't really in fashion, but like I don't trim my eyebrow hairs or anything. My hairs are really long on my eyebrows. So the best thing for them is one of these kinds of brushes because I get to just pop them into the right shape. The end. Not the end, but the end for my eyebrows. That's gonna bother me. Anyway, I'll sit here and let it dry for a minute. I'm trying to think what else I have to update on about this year. Oh, I do. You know, okay. All right, let's see. So at the start of the year when my show finished and I was looking for another kind of performative outlet, there was a class I had always wanted to try, and there was one like just up the road from where I live. So you know what, I bit the bullet. It was one of those things I've always wanted to do it, so let's do it. And I signed up for a pole fitness class and it was a lot of fun. It was very, very hard. Not that I was under any illusion that it wasn't going to be hard, but holy moly did it really throw into the light how weak I am. I have no core strength, no upper body strength. And it was very, very apparent in that class. But look, I had fun, and it wasn't even like, I didn't feel like I was being judged or anything. Everybody in the class was actually really supportive, which was really nice, because we were all aware that it was a tricky thing to do. There were some people who were better at it, just even naturally, or some people who had maybe taken classes before. But everybody in the room, if somebody got a difficult move, everybody was so happy for them. Like, you'd actually applaud. It was so good. It was just, and it was all women in the class. It was just like this lovely feminine energy of women supporting women, which always feels really good. But I didn't keep it up because, like that, it was quite hard, but also I just had other things cropping up, so it wasn't the time. I did like 3 months of it, and then I called it a day. But I was really glad I did it. Again, it was just one of those things. It was like, look, this is me doing something for me and something that I'm trying. And where is my lip liner? Found it, staring me in the face the whole time. I grabbed a cotton bud anyway. That's gonna lift that bit of mascara off. So hopefully it's dry enough now. So yeah, it's been a weird year. And then in the summer, I just had a lot of thoughts that I felt I wanted to express through writing. So I decided to start a blog, which went really well at the start. And then I just kind of petered out of it because I just kind of lost inspiration a bit. And yeah, I don't know, like I had so much motivation when I had a particular thing inspiring me. And then I just didn't really anymore. And I kind of stopped writing, which is a shame because I liked it and the reception of it was incredible. Again, it was one of those moments where it's like, wow, people have actually made this connection with me and are offering me their support, and it feels so, so good. But it just didn't kind of become enough of a habit for me. I don't know, it's hard to say. Like, I mean, I will open up the laptop now and sit down to write something and start writing something, and then only get like a couple of paragraphs in before I've kind of said all I needed to say and don't really have anything else to say. And it's not a full blog and it's not a full piece of writing, so it never goes anywhere. It's, I don't know, kind of just was a bit of a journaling outlet almost, but obviously I can't put everything out online. There are some things in journaling that you keep in your journal. So I don't know, it just sort of didn't really become what I wanted it to become. But look, that's okay. I tried it and I gave it my best shot, and I did well with what I did. So it's okay that it didn't become a thing. Anyway, yeah, my lip liner, it is NYX. Take the lid off so you can see it. Here's the color. What's it called? Nude pink. I don't fully really need lip liner for what I'm putting on my lips, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Why not? It's quite a pinky pink, which obviously, like, it is called nude pink, but you know, I kind of like my nude lip colors to be a little bit more on the brownie side than the pink side, but it still does the job. It's still good. It's budget friendly. That came off really well, by the way. I'm just going to grab my foundation brush. I'm not even going to add any more product on it. It's probably just little bits of residue in there. And I'm just going to very neatly get into that corner and just kind of go over where the smudge was, because we're going to have moved off some of the foundation, concealer and whatever that was in the area. God, it looks really still there on camera. What's that about? Last thing is, it is new. It is the Fenty Beauty Poutsicle. There's the outer packaging. So this is it. Very simple, minimal packaging. It's in the shade Strawberry Sangria. It's lovely because it's actually like a lip stain and it goes on like a gloss, but it lasts like all day, all day. I used to wear it to work because I didn't have to keep checking on it. Like I could kind of snack and drink and whatever throughout the day and it wouldn't wear off. I'd only really just touch it up a bit after lunch because it did start to wear off then, but it was still more or less there. So would highly recommend, especially if you're, you know, going to an event or for your job or something like that where you're just not in a position to constantly keep it in check. Do be careful though, because it is a lip stain. So just for illustrative purposes, here's some of it on my hand, right? All very well and good, lovely. It's swatched on my hand. Still there. The upper gloss layer has come off, but that stain is still there. Try not to get it all over your face. I'm gonna say that and I'm gonna get it all over my face now because I'm on camera, but I'm gonna focus, I'm gonna concentrate on this. Okay, so I've gone in first with just like a very light layer, just to get the color down, so I don't make a big mess. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit more over top. Done. So the idea is it goes on like a gloss. I'm getting up close and personal so you can see it. See the way it's kind of reflective there? So it's like a gloss. The texture is something to kind of get used to because it's a little bit oily. It's kind of like a lip oil almost in texture. It doesn't feel like the sticky kind of watery gelness of a gloss. It's definitely a bit oilier, which is weird, but it's fine. Just ignore it. So it's like a gloss when it goes on, but then as it wears off just naturally throughout the day, the stain is still there. So it doesn't look like you're missing half your lipstick or anything. The stain does still stay on nice and evenly. You just lose that gloss top on it. So you actually can't tell whether it's worn off or not, which is great. Now what you can do is put it on and then blot your lips with a tissue to make it just like a stain. I'll do that now. So removing the gloss on top, I've just got like a little stain left, which is still very well and good, but I'm gonna actually just keep it glossy because that's what I want to do today. So the stain would be what you're left with, say, after you go and have your lunch or whatever. So in theory, you could still look perfectly good. I was gonna say that's us done, but I actually have one more new thing I want to use. Oh my god, dropping everything. See, this is how I get covered in bruises. I don't tend to describe myself as a clumsy person, but I think I'm a really clumsy person. I'm dropping everything all the time and I always walk into things. Last thing in my new products is the Sculpted by Aimee, which is an Irish brand that I love because you see all my products that I use from it. This is the Hydrate and Hold. I haven't actually cracked into it yet because I just bought it to replace the setting spray I currently have, which is running low, but it hasn't run out yet. So this is going to be first time using it. I'll actually just spray it into the air first because I don't know kind of how dense it is when it comes out. I don't want to spray that right onto my face without knowing. Oh, that's very light. Okay. Yeah, so with setting spray, I usually sort of cover the front of my hair so it doesn't get wet, because then it'll curl up and look weird. And gently close my eyes, not firmly because you want your skin to be nice and relaxed. You don't want to be kind of forming any creases in there by scrunching up your eyes or anything, or your nose. Just keep your face really relaxed and still. And then your eyelashes are going to get wet with this, so you're going to again want to not put too much pressure on them so that they're not pressing into underneath your eyes and then transferring mascara onto them. Give it a second, start to open them slowly again, so you're not going to crease anything on the lid, but then also you're going to give your lashes a chance to air dry. So you wouldn't think there's that much going into like a setting spray application. And then I just give it a hand, literally. Just give it a bit of a fan so that it dries a little quicker. That was a very fine mist. Usually I would make sure to hold it kind of as far away from my face as I can, which for a lot of setting sprays would be nearly arm's length, but I think I could get away with holding this one closer. I'll be interested to see how well this works from a hold perspective, but it certainly feels very nice on the skin. I've probably got it in my tea now, but I'm going to drink it anyway. I'll take a minute to actually read you some of the ingredients that it highlights. So there's hyaluronic acid in there, which is all the rage now because we all want hydrated skin. There is oil controlling lemon extract, which is great because I have oily skin. And then there's a skin barrier strengthening Centella asiatica. I have no idea if I pronounced that correctly. I've never heard of this ingredient before. Well, there it is there for you. So that's in there too. Anyway, this was a lot of fun. And quite cathartic to get all of my trials and tribulations out there with the world. But yeah, the main takeaway is know your worth. Don't let people treat you like crap. Your dignity is not for sale. And I'm happy. I feel good. I mean, there were times I didn't know if I'd make it to Christmas, but I did. So, you know what? I'm raising a glass to me. I'm raising a glass to everyone else who is going through something similar, and surviving. Maybe we're not thriving yet, but you know, surviving is half the battle, and get help if you need it, and know who is good to have around you as well. Know who your support systems are. So thank you wholeheartedly to all of my support systems who have really just came through for me this year. Thank you to you, my viewers. There will be some overlap there, but yeah, I appreciate each and every one of you. I love connecting with you. I love it when, you know, you might leave me a comment and tell me about your day or what kind of brought you to my video, or you might DM me about it as well. I think that's so lovely. I love that this platform can bring people together. It's so heartwarming. I find it so touching. So keep that up. I love it. I love it. Please, like, let's keep a dialogue going. I would love to hear how your year has been. Have you had a weird year? Has it been a lot going on? Have you had a really quiet, boring year? I want to hear. I want to know. And I want to know next year. What do you want out of 2024? Do you have any resolutions? Are you working towards anything? Is there going to be a big change in your life? I want to know. I love having this connection. I think it's fantastic. I think it's so special. I think it's really a testament to the good that social media can do. I know there's an awful lot of bad. I'm aware of that. I know that it's not a perfect place to be. On that note, if you're going to be a troll, go somewhere else. I don't want you here. I'm just going to lay out the ground rules. This is a positive, safe space online for me and for my viewers. So I'm just putting that out there. Thankfully, touch wood, I haven't been on the receiving end of anything particularly upsetting or anything like that online, which I'm very lucky so far. But just as a PSA going forward into 2024, that I'm not going to tolerate bullies. So if you are unhappy watching my channel, if you don't like my videos and you feel like sounding off for some reason, just go and direct that energy to something that makes you happy instead. I'm just kind of word vomiting now. But listen, point is, you're all great. Thank you for spending time with me this year, and I'm looking forward to spending more time with you again next year, and happy holidays, happy new year. You're great.